Welcome to the Embrace Strength podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Crocker. I am an experienced trainer and active life professional. I work with people who are struggling with nagging pain to get back to the activities they love without fear of re-injury. This podcast is here to educate and provide value to you on all things health, fitness, staying active, and personal development. Let's dive in. All right, welcome to today's Feisty Friday, where I am talking about muscle tightness. This is one of my favorite things to chat about because tightness is often misunderstood, right? I think a common thing that I see and common belief people have is that if something feels tight, that means I need to stretch. And that's not necessarily wrong. Like if we stretch and we feel better afterward, that is great. But that is a half solution. Yes, it can help us feel better in the moment, but we also need to strength train. If we have a muscle that feels really tight or a certain area of our body is like, man, this always feels so tight, that is your body telling you that you have a weakness there. So tight muscles usually equal weak muscles. Stretching might be one piece to the puzzle, but it's not the only piece that we need to focus on. And that tightness in our body is a signal from our nervous system that a muscle is weak and it's vulnerable to injury. And the best way to keep that safe is going to be to restrict the movement of that muscle or area, aka make it tight so we can't move it as much. And so I really feel like tightness is misunderstood because a lot of people think, I feel so tight. Okay, I just need to stretch more. And if all of the muscles in our body felt loose, we would fall over like noodles. We need a combo of both. And in order to make our muscles strong and resilient, that's done through specific strength training. And what I don't want you to think is that I'm saying stretching is bad and then we should never stretch. I'm not saying that. It's not that stretching is pointless. It's that we also need to be doing some strength training. So something that I like to do is, let's say I am working out my lower body that day and my hips are feeling hella tight that day. Okay, I'll do some stretching included in my warm-up to make things feel a little bit looser and that I'm able to like move my body a little bit better. But I'm following that up by strength training. And for me personally, I train mostly unilateral with my lower body because of my ankle issues. And so I know that that is something I have to stay on top of or else I can be in pain. So anyways, yeah, add in some stretching in your warm-up so that you can move a little bit better and get better range of motion in your strength training workout. But you also need that strength training piece specific to you so that you can be working on this issue long term versus just thinking you need to stretch more and you're staying away from strength training, but like you're still probably going to be dealing with that pain, right? So I want you to remember humans are very complex. They're very complex. Our bodies are complex, and it's usually just not one solution to solve our problem for our tight hips or tight hamstrings or wherever you feel tight. There's more to the story, and I want you to open your mind to that. It's like, hey, this one side of my body, for example, always feels super tight. I wonder why that is. Like, I've been stretching for months or years without feeling any better, but I'm still tight and maybe I feel a little bit worse. That's your body trying to tell you something. So I encourage you to explore that a little bit more. If you are somebody who has just been stretching to try and get out of pain, it's like, okay, maybe this is actually just one piece to the puzzle and I need to explore other areas. Today is short and sweet, but I think it's really important and I want more people to know about what tightness means for them. So if you're somebody who's been listening to this and you've had like an aha moment or light bulb moment and you're like, man, I really want to get to the bottom of my muscle tightness. I've tried massage, I've tried chiropractor, I've been to the physical therapist, and maybe they gave you some stretches and just said ease back into it, or maybe they just gave you some stretches but no like real strength training suggestions. Then I want to talk to you. You'd be perfect for doing an assessment and consult package where we dive deep into what you're dealing with, how long you've been dealing with it. I take you through my flexibility and mobility assessment, which is joint by joint, 13 screens we take a look at, all of your range of motion, and then get into some specific strength testing depending on what you're dealing with, specific to you, because the more data I'm able to get during that assessment process, it helps me put the puzzle pieces together as to why you are feeling the way that you are. And so you get that. I review all the data we find. I review your questionnaire. I put together a summary of things that I found, how it all connects together, and then what are suggested potential next steps for you to begin the process of feeling a little bit better and making those results stick long term. So if that's something you want to do, send me a message on Instagram, head to my website, fill out the contact form. I would love to talk to you. And if you learned something, share this episode with someone who needs it. All right, talk to you next time.